You were chosen before birth. Not randomly, not accidentally, not because of luck or timing or coincidence. You were selected. And the fact that you are watching this right now is not a mistake. Think about that for a second. Out of billions of videos, out of millions of moments you could have spent doing something else, out of every distraction the world threw at you today, you ended up here, reading these words, feeling something stir inside your chest that you haven't felt in a long time. That's not algorithm. That's assignment. There's something different about you. You've always known it, even when you couldn't explain it, even when the people around you couldn't see it, even when life itself seemed to be pushing back against you with everything it had. Something inside you refused to die. That something has a name. It's called a promise. And today, I need to tell you something that might shake you to your core, something that the enemy of your destiny has worked overtime to make you forget. Something that the delays, the disappointments, the closed doors, the silent seasons, the unanswered prayers were all designed to make you stop believing. Your miracle was never canceled. Read that again. Your miracle was never canceled. It was delayed. It was held. It was being prepared in ways your human eyes couldn't see. But canceled? Never. Not once, not for a single second did the universe, God, the divine source, whatever name resonates deepest in your spirit, ever look at you and say, I changed my mind about them. No. What happened is something far more extraordinary. What happened is that your miracle was being upgraded. See, most people quit right before the breakthrough. Most people walk away from the field right before the harvest. Most people decide the promise was a lie right in the final stretch before it becomes real. And that's exactly why most people never experience the miracle that had their name on it. But you're still here. You've been through things that would have destroyed someone else. You've carried weight that was never supposed to be yours alone. You've cried in the dark when no one was watching. You've smiled in public when you were crumbling inside. You've kept going when every logical, rational, human reason to continue had disappeared. And that tells me everything I need to know about you. You are not ordinary. You are not someone who simply didn't give up. You are someone who was built for a specific kind of glory, the kind that only comes through fire, the kind that only reveals itself to people who refuse to let the storm define them, the kind that is being released right now. Right now, not tomorrow, not when you fix yourself, not when you become more worthy or more prepared or more spiritual or more anything. Right now. Something is shifting in your life. You can feel it, even if you can't name it yet, even if it doesn't look like anything has changed from the outside. In the spiritual dimension, the supernatural realm, the place where promises are kept and destinies are sealed, the door is already opening. And this video, this moment, this is God sending you a message through the most unexpected channel possible to tell you one thing. Don't you dare stop now. If you feel this message was meant for you today, type miracle in the comments right now. Part 1. The weight you carried was never punishment. Let's talk about something nobody tells you. The hard season you've been living through, it was not punishment. It was preparation. There is a profound and dangerous lie that creeps into the minds of people who are chosen for something great. It whispers in the quiet moments. It speaks loudest at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep and the weight on your chest feels unbearable. It says, maybe this is happening because you did something wrong. Maybe you're being punished. Maybe you don't deserve what you asked for. And that lie is the most powerful weapon ever used against destiny. Because here's what's actually true. The people who carry the heaviest loads in life are not the ones being punished. They are the ones being trusted. They are the ones whose shoulders God looked at and said, this one is strong enough. This one won't break. This one will use what they've been through to change other people's lives. Think about every person in history who did something extraordinary. Every single one of them had a season that looked like failure. Every single one of them had a chapter that looked like the end. Every single one of them sat in silence, in confusion, in grief, in exhaustion, wondering if the promise was real or if they had imagined it all. And then the shift came. Not gradually, not slowly, not with warning. It came like a wave. It came like a door that had been locked for years suddenly swinging open at full force. It came like everything that was being held back suddenly released all at once, all at the same time, in a way that made every single painful moment make perfect and undeniable sense. That is what is coming for you. And I need you to understand something about the weight you've been carrying, something critical, something that changes the entire way you see your story. The weight was not random. Every single thing you've had to carry, every disappointment, every betrayal, every loss, every unanswered prayer, every night spent wondering if you were forgotten, was building something in you that cannot be built any other way. Resilience cannot be taught in a classroom. Depth of character cannot be downloaded. The kind of faith that moves mountains, it does not come from easy seasons. It comes from standing in the storm and choosing to believe anyway. It comes from having every reason to quit and finding one reason to stay. It comes from the dark, from the silence, from the waiting, and from the decision made every single day to not let the darkness have the final word. You made that decision. Over and over again, you made that decision. And that decision has been recorded. It has been witnessed. It has been honored in a realm you cannot see with your physical eyes. Every single morning you woke up and chose to keep going, something in the universe took note. The weight you carried was a test of worthiness, and you passed. You are still passing. And the miracle that is coming toward you right now is sized exactly for the weight you carried. It is calibrated exactly for the pain you endured. It is custom built for someone who survived exactly what you survived. No one else can receive this specific miracle. It has your name on it. It always did. And it's almost here.
Part 2. Why the delay was actually divine strategy. You need to understand something about time. Human time and divine time are not the same thing, not even close. When you prayed for your miracle 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and nothing appeared to happen, you interpreted that silence as rejection. You interpreted the wait as a no. You interpreted the delay as evidence that maybe the promise wasn't real, or maybe it was meant for someone else, or maybe you had done something to disqualify yourself from receiving it. But that interpretation was wrong. Completely, fundamentally, profoundly wrong. Here is what was actually happening in the silence. The miracle you asked for was being constructed. See, there are miracles that are simple. They require little preparation. They can arrive quickly because the infrastructure to receive them already exists. But then there are miracles of a different category. Miracles so large, so life-altering, so capable of transforming not just you, but everyone connected to you, that they require an entirely new infrastructure to be built before they can arrive. And that infrastructure, it was being built inside of you. Every hard conversation you survived built a wall of emotional intelligence. Every betrayal you processed built a foundation of discernment. Every financial struggle you navigated built a structure of stewardship. Every relationship that fell apart built space for the right connections to come in. Every night you spent in prayer, in tears, in confusion, in surrender, built the spiritual capacity to hold what's coming. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. A miracle given to someone who isn't ready to hold it destroys them. There are countless stories of people who received everything they wanted before they were equipped to handle it. The sudden wealth that shattered relationships, the sudden fame that broke their mind, the sudden love that they sabotaged because their own wounds hadn't healed yet. The delay was not God withholding good things from you. The delay was God protecting you from receiving what you asked for before you were capable of keeping it. Think about that. The same miracle arriving 2 years ago might have overwhelmed you, might have broken you, might have been wasted because the version of you that existed 2 years ago didn't have the capacity, the clarity, the character to steward it properly. But the version of you that exists right now, the version of you that has been through everything you've been through, that has grown in ways you don't even fully see yet, that has been shaped and refined and deepened by every single season of difficulty, that version of you is ready, and God knows it. The timing isn't late. The timing is exact. There's a concept in Scripture, in ancient wisdom traditions, in quantum physics, and in the deepest wells of human spiritual experience that says there is a perfect appointed time for every promise. Not early, not late, exactly on time. And you are living in your appointed time right now, not next year, not when you figure it all out, not when you earn it or pray harder or become more deserving. Right now, this season, this chapter, this very moment in your story. The gates that have been closed are being opened. The resources that were being held are being released. The connections that were being prepared are being activated. The doors that looked permanently shut are about to swing open with a force that will leave you breathless. And when it happens, you will look back at every single day of the delay and you will understand. Not just understand, you will be grateful. Grateful for the wait, grateful for the silence, grateful for every not yet that kept you from receiving your blessing before you were ready to hold it with both hands. Because what's coming, it's not just a miracle, it's the miracle. The one that changes everything, the one that rewrites your story, the one that makes everyone who watched you struggle suddenly watch you soar. It is already in motion. Can you feel it? Part 3. The signs that your season is shifting right now. There are signs, and I believe you've been seeing them. Not the loud, obvious signs, not the dramatic, undeniable, everyone can see it signs. The quiet ones, the subtle ones, the ones you almost dismissed as coincidence, the ones you almost talked yourself out of believing. Don't dismiss them. Those signs are real. Here's what a shifting season looks like. Here's how you know, not hope, not wish, but know that what you've been waiting for is finally in motion. First sign, you've been feeling a strange, unexplainable peace. Not the peace that comes from having answers, the other kind, the deeper kind, the kind that makes no logical sense given your current circumstances. You still have problems, you still have uncertainties, you still have things unresolved, but somewhere underneath all of it, there is a stillness that wasn't there before. That stillness is not apathy. That stillness is arrival. It's the peace that comes when, at the deepest level of your spirit, something knows that the breakthrough is so close it can stop straining. Second sign, old things have been falling away. People who no longer fit your frequency have been drifting out of your life. Habits that kept you small have suddenly felt unbearable. Old versions of yourself, old stories you told about who you are and what you deserve have started feeling foreign, like clothes that no longer fit you, like a name that no longer belongs to you. That falling away is not loss. That falling away is preparation. You cannot step into the new chapter still holding everything from the old one. The universe has been clearing space. Lovingly, sometimes painfully, it has been removing everything that would prevent you from receiving what's coming. Third sign, you've been thinking about your purpose more than ever. Not in the anxious, desperate, what am I doing with my life way, in the quiet, deep, settled way. The way where you look at your gifts, your experiences, your specific story of pain and survival, and something inside you says, this was all for a reason. This is all going somewhere. That inner knowing is not wishful thinking. That inner knowing is prophecy. It is you sensing at a soul level the reality that is already written, the version of your life that exists in the spiritual dimension, already complete, already beautiful, already whole. And you are being drawn toward it with increasing force. Fourth sign, this message found you today. You can call that coincidence if you need to, but you and I both know this message didn't find you randomly. You were guided here. Something or someone put this in front of you at exactly this moment because you needed to hear it,
because you were close to giving up, because you had started believing the lie that maybe it wasn't coming, because you needed one more voice to remind you, hold on. Not forever, not blindly, not desperately, but with faith, grounded, embodied, unshakable faith, the kind that says, I don't know exactly when, I don't know exactly how, but I know it's coming, I know it's mine, and I will not abandon my post one single day before it arrives. Because the worst thing, the absolute worst thing that could happen right now is for you to quit. Not because quitting is weakness, but because you are so close, closer than you've ever been, closer than you know.
Part 4. Who you are becoming is the miracle itself. I want to shift something in the way you've been thinking about this, because there's something you've been missing. You've been so focused on the miracle you're waiting for that you've almost completely overlooked the miracle that's already happening. You are the miracle, not the outcome, not the answered prayer, not the manifestation, the blessing, the breakthrough. The person who survived everything you survived and still shows up. The person who endured every dark season and chose every single time to be defined by the light. That person is extraordinary. And here is something I need you to understand with every cell in your body. The miracle you're waiting for was never designed to make you whole. You were never broken. The miracle was designed to confirm what you already are. It was designed to be the external evidence of the internal reality that has been true about you all along. You are chosen. You were always chosen. Before the miracle arrives, before the breakthrough comes, before anything changes in the visible world, you are chosen right now, in the waiting, in the middle, in the almost there. And who you are becoming through this process, that is the most important miracle of all. Because the version of you that is emerging from this season is not the same person who entered it. You have been changed, deepened, expanded, refined. You have developed capacities for love, for endurance, for faith, for compassion, for wisdom that the before version of you simply did not possess. And those capacities, they are gifts. Not just for you, for everyone you will touch, for everyone who will look at your life and say, if they made it through that, then maybe I can make it through this. For everyone who will hear your story and feel their own hope rekindled. For everyone who will be served by the version of you that only exists because you refused to quit. Your survival is someone else's permission. Your breakthrough is someone else's prophecy. Your miracle, when it arrives, will not just change your life. It will echo. It will ripple. It will reach people you've never met, in places you've never been, in moments that haven't happened yet. That is the weight of what you carry. That is the magnitude of who you are. And that is why the enemy fought so hard to make you give up. Because it was never just about you. It was never just about one person's blessing. What you are carrying has the potential to shift lives, families, communities, generations. Of course it was hard. Of course the resistance was fierce. The bigger the promise, the harder the fight. But you are still standing, and God is saying to you, right now, in this moment, through this message, I see you. I haven't forgotten you. What I started in you, I will complete, and it will be more beautiful than anything you imagined in your darkest hour. Believe that. Not because it's easy. Believe it because it's true. Conclusion. The release is now. We've come to the end of this message, but not the end of your story. Your story is just reaching its most important turning point. I want you to do something right now, right in this moment, before you close this tab, before you scroll to the next thing, before the world rushes back in with its noise and its demands and its attempts to make you forget what you just felt. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. That heartbeat is a promise. That heartbeat is evidence that the story isn't over. That heartbeat is God saying one more time, louder than any circumstance, I'm not done with you yet. The miracle you've been waiting for? It is not somewhere in the distant future. It is not waiting for some version of you that doesn't exist yet. It is being released right now. Right now, doors are shifting. Right now, the spiritual infrastructure that was being built for your blessing is complete. Right now, the people who are supposed to find you are being redirected toward you. Right now, the opportunities that were being held in divine reserve are being set in motion. Right now, every single prayer you prayed in the dark is being answered in the light. You just have to hold on long enough to receive it. Don't quit in the waiting room. Don't leave your post when you're 5 minutes from the shift change. Don't trade your miracle for the temporary relief of giving up. Because giving up feels like release, but it is actually the deepest form of loss. It is the loss of what was already yours, and you have worked too hard, survived too much, and come too far to let that happen. You are a chosen one. Not because you earned it, not because you're perfect, not because your faith never wavered, but because something in you, something ancient and unbreakable and deeply, permanently real, was recognized before you were born and marked for a purpose that this world desperately needs. Own that. Walk in that. Wake up tomorrow morning with that truth installed in your bones. And when the miracle comes, and it is coming, it is already in motion, the wheels are already turning, the breakthrough is already written, receive it with open hands. Receive it without guilt. Receive it without the voice that says you don't deserve it. Receive it as what it is, a confirmation of who you always were, the chosen one. Your miracle was never canceled. God said it's being released right now. And you were guided to this message today so that when it arrives, you will recognize it, receive it, and know with absolute certainty you were always the one. If this message moved something in your soul today, type "released" in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you never miss a message that was made for you, because more is coming, and it was all made with you in mind.